somebody, I say you don't cross my mind. And she doesn't know that your favorite place is still mine. Now I take the long way home, avoid what I can.
Okay, so we have a really big day. Excuse me. Good morning. Welcome back. We have a very big day today. And that means I don't know what I'm doing today. I know, like my head is, oh, you're on my textbook because it's the only way you can see my head. Because otherwise, 7:30 and I just took a shower. Also, quick chat. I've been, this morning and for the last 3 days, I've been waking up naturally at 6:50, 6:30. Miss Girl, who are you? I love it. What? Where did that come from? I went to bed at 9:30 2 nights ago. Do I need friends? I don't like to go out at night. It just doesn't make me feel good. I started writing in my blog again yesterday. I started a blog in 2017, and it was going to be about Christian girls and eating disorder recovery. So it was supposed to be not Christian affirmations, if that makes sense, Bible verses and all of that good stuff, paired with healthy meals, good food, and workout routines. Concept, pretty damn cool. Go me as a 17-year-old. Heck yeah. Reality, for me as a human being, no. I'm not, no. So I redid the whole thing. Now it's more about eating disorder recovery. I took out the Christian stuff and I took out the workout stuff. But I wrote my first blog post last night and it felt so good. It was literally therapy. I put that in my goals for 2022, write a certain amount of blog posts every month. So hopefully I can get in the groove of typing out my feelings on the internet. That might be fun. Okay. Ladies and gents, it's 8:40 right now. This is the fit for today. So we've got black jeans, this orange tank top because it's supposed to be 60 today, so it's gonna be nice. And then this green cropped puffer. No matter how far I think I can try and get away from this aesthetic, I always come back. Every time. I don't think I ever filled you in on what we're doing today, so let's do that. But the premise of today's video is that I start student teaching for my second semester in a week, and I need to prepare. I have not prepared. I've done some lesson planning, but I haven't really. I, for a while, have been collecting on Pinterest a variety of ideas for behavior management, for calling student names, for attendance, all of that jazz, all that good stuff. And today, I'm gonna make it happen. So I'm going to pull up my notes and I'm going to describe to you what my goal is. So the first thing that I want to get at Target they're called, I guess in the education world, they call them cool down cubes, which is the cutest name in the world. Basically, they're plastic reusable ice cubes. I'll just put them in a jar and I'll write down different cool down activities. So maybe a journaling, or we'll play Pictionary with vocabulary, one of those things. And I'll just write them down on the cool down cubes and then I'll have a student pick a cool down cube. And that's the cool down for the day. The second thing that I want to get is a plastic container, and I want to write, I wish my teacher knew. I also want to get a bunch of ping pong balls and write my students' names on them for every class and do a student lottery. So that way, instead of having popsicle sticks with the names on them, that's sort of intimidating and it's scary. And I remember when I was in high school, I would freak out if the teacher brought out the popsicle sticks because I didn't want to be called on. But a student lottery is a different name. Last semester, I did mental health check-ins every day with my kids, but it was, actually let me just show you. I have it in my apartment. This is what it looks like. It's just, aside from the plan, it's just, I would draw this on the board and my kids would put the sticky note that was on their desk wherever they were feeling that day. And it was just a baby check-in, nothing too intense, just to see where they were at for that day. I think those are the only things, or that I want to go get. But today I also want to make newsletters. I know it's high school, but newsletters are fun. Yeah, I'm so incredibly lucky that my partnership teacher is so willing and encouraging and excited for me to try all of these things. She is very much now is your time to experiment, I've got your back, now is your time to be experimental. That's my goal for today. So I think right now I'm gonna go to downtown and grab a coffee from this super cute coffee shop. And then we're gonna go to Target and pick up some stiff. And then I might meet up with a friend later to work on all of this stuff together. Heck yeah. So I'm at a red light and I was playing some music, but I've realized that I've been playing the same music forever. So I need new music. This is completely unrelated to the topic of the video, but I do need new music. So, and I like all genres. I'm not picky. So put your favorite genre of music and your favorite artist in the comments, and I want to go check them out. Thank you.
Let go. I don't always think about you, but sometimes I do. 'Cause sometimes I drive through all of the streets we used to on First Avenue. 'Cause sometimes I don't even know where I'm going at first. All of the turns that I had to unlearn, back to the surface, the feeling of all that we were. I don't always think about you till First Avenue. That's when I do. That's when I do.
Okay, hear me out. I know I didn't go to Target. I realized in the car that the only thing that I need from Target are like those plastic ice cubes and a plastic container. And I don't need to do the plastic ice cubes. I don't have to do that. And the plastic container, girl, you can make that from home. You're bought on a budget. Like, what are you doing? I say as I buy $5 coffee. But you know what? Priorities, okay? Priorities. I think what I'm gonna do instead is go to the education building and I have to print my resume. If you can hear that, they're doing construction in my apartment complex right across the street. So that's why it's loud. Oh my God. What are they doing? I'm gonna go print my resume and I'm gonna like make the syllabus and make the newsletters and finish lesson planning. I'm gonna do it all over there. I forgot to mention that I get my TPA scores today, so I might cry. Let's get rolling.
I guess the truth is I can't leave memories behind. When she asks about you, I hesitate every time. Every time. I don't always think about you, but sometimes I do. 'Cause sometimes I drive through all of the streets we used to on First Avenue. 'Cause sometimes I don't even know where I'm going at first. All of the turns that I had to unlearn, back to the surface, the feeling of all that we were. I don't always think about you till First Avenue. That's when I do. Always think about you, but sometimes I do. 'Cause sometimes I drive through all of...
Okay. The lighting is just... Give me a second. How's that? That's okay. You know what? I like straight up closed the blinds. Like, it's dark now. Okay, whatever. But I'm going to give you my top pieces of advice. Because I went into student teaching last semester completely clueless. I was a mess. And so if you're about to student teach or if you're in education, I feel like these are things that would help you in the classroom. So, for reference, I'm 21 and I student taught high school seniors. And it was amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better group of kids. Like, they were awesome. A question that I get relatively often is, how do you gain your students' respect? Mostly because we're so close in age. How do they not treat you like a friend? I've learned that it's not hard to gain my students' respect. I think you have to have very strict boundaries. Like, these are things that we can talk about, but we can't talk about these things. I had a student ask me if I ever partied, And that question caught me so off guard because I didn't know how to respond to that. I can't remember how I responded, but basically I had to make a point, like, I can't really talk to you about this subject, but are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like there were definitely some topics where my kids would try to push boundaries, and I had to give a firm, we're not going to talk about that in this classroom. Thank you very much. One, like, remind your students that you're on the same team. Like, you have to remind them. I had to remind my kids constantly, we are on the same team. Like, I am rooting for you. Basically, underneath that layer is you are safe. Second thing, don't take anything personally. You shouldn't take anything personally anyway, but especially don't take anything personally when it comes to your kids. But regardless of what age you're student teaching, you will have kids that act out, that yell at you, that lash out and say mean things. Like, it will happen at some point in your career, and it's not about you. So the last thing you want to do is go cry in the corner and think to yourself that you're a terrible teacher and that you never want to do this career, like you're not changing kids' lives. Like, no, that's not true at all. If anything, feel a little bit thankful that they feel safe enough to release those emotions around you. It's very rare that a student will, come for your neck and it actually be about you. Like, it's usually about something that's way underneath, some emotions that they haven't learned how to access yet and deal with in the proper manner. Like, it doesn't have to do with you. So keep doing your thing. Don't treat that student any differently in a negative sense. Continue to be kind toward them. Does that make sense? I think this is the third thing. Be able to take criticism. Your mentor teacher, the principal, the people who observe you, everyone will give you criticism. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That's it. It's not about you as a person. This also goes along with not taking things personally. It doesn't say anything about you as a human being or about your worth or about what you value and what you bring to the table. They all want to make your life better. They want to make you better at your career. They want to make you a better teacher. And this is the only time where you will have people sitting in the room watching you teach your students, giving you advice. Like, that won't come at any other time. So now is the time to, think about things that you want to do, practice your behavior management techniques, take risks and try out new things. Because if anything, you have your mentorship teacher to fall on. Like, they've got your back. Now's your time to take risks to an extent, but take with that what you will. 4, ask other teachers for help. I may have stated that wrong, but they had, at the school that I'm student teaching at, they have an English language arts core group of people, and those teachers have been together for a while. They collaborate really well. Student teaching is your time to get to know them. Like, figure out what kind of people they are, what kind of resources they have. It was the teacher who taught across the hall from me that had a super big binder of Hamlet materials, and I definitely borrowed the heck out of that from him. I'm so thankful that he let me borrow that. So you never know what other teachers might bring to the table. You're learning a lot from your mentor teacher, but I think it's also really important to learn from other teachers too, because we all teach a little bit differently, and that's not a bad thing. So I think it's a great idea, while you can, go see if you can observe in another teacher's room. 5, make copies of everything. If your mentor teacher does a lot of things on paper, take pictures, make copies, see if you can remake them on Photoshop or Canva or anything like that. Take as many resources as possible as you can from your student teaching experience. Make a little binder, take every worksheet, vocabulary quiz that you do, character diagram, I don't know, take it all. 6, do as much as you can in the classroom. And I definitely think I could have done more last semester when I was student teaching, but last semester was my first semester in a room of high schoolers as the teacher, and I was absolutely terrified. Before I even walked in, I was like, oh my god, they're high school seniors. They're 17 and 18 year olds. They're almost adults, and I'm 21. We're almost the same age. How am I expected to be the leader and to be the person who knows all of the answers to their questions? That's insane. I'm still a kid. I feel like a kid. How am I expected to be the adult? Everyone feels that way. Everyone feels that way. You just gotta do it. There's no easy way to be deep breathe, deep breathing helps, not gonna lie, I deep breathe all the time, but literally the first week I was just observing these kids. I was having major imposter syndrome. No, but literally, my mentor teacher was like, okay, Caroline, it's time to get up, walk around, you got it. And I was shaking. But I did it. I got up and I walked around, and the kids were so much more accepting of me than I first anticipated. They were like, hey, did I do a good job? Of course you did a good job. 7? I think that's where we're at. Choice boards. Choice boards are your friend. Okay, hear me out. So choice boards are really good for individual assignments. So I did a lot of choice boards for like vocabulary quizzes, vocabulary tests. I did them for projects. I did them when I assigned a paper. My choice board was you can choose the topic. Here's a list of like 10 topics and you choose one. Choice boards are your friend. They are fun. They are easy. They give students the power of choice, and the power of choice is so underrated. Number 8 is learn your students' names as soon as possible. Okay, word of advice. Here's what I did. I made an Excel spreadsheet, and the first week that I was observing, I had all the students' names. I put their like academic strengths, academic weaknesses, behavioral strengths, behavioral weaknesses, a stuff column of everything that I learned about them, like what sports they played, what their job was after school, like things like that. If they told me anything about their home life, I would put it in there. That Excel spreadsheet worked wonders. I learned their names so fast, and students get really excited when you learn their name fast. Like by the second time you speak to them, if you're like, oh hey, Samantha, they're like, you remember my name? Like, yes, I remember your name. You're a memorable person. Oh my gosh, their world is shook forever. But it also just makes your life easier because then you're not spending like the rest of the month trying to learn students' names. Like you've got it down. Every time you say a student's name, good morning, blank, like say their name. When they raise their hand, say their name. Don't just say yes, say the name. It matters and it helps you and them, I promise. So the last one is clothes. I think this one is a little bit underrated. Clothes are important. Good job, Caroline. Your student teaching is all about first impressions. I can't even remember what the statistic is, but you make an opinion about someone in the first like 8 seconds. So much of that comes from physical appearance. You want to be in a very professional wardrobe that makes you look good, that makes you feel good, that makes you feel confident, because we all know that what you wear affects how you act. So if you're wearing things that are comfortable and are professional and you feel good as a teacher in, you're gonna act like a really good teacher. I think that's all of the advice that I have right now. Oh, here's my number 10. I just came up with it. You will be given or shown a variety of classroom behavior management techniques. Take what works for you. If you gain their respect, they're willing to listen to you. I haven't found it difficult at all. Even with like a relatively challenging class, like I've been fine. You have to find what works for you. Student teaching is your time to try out a variety of different things. So if it feels weird and awkward, it might be, that's fine. Keep trying it. You have to figure out what works. The point is, student teaching is your time to take risks and to try new stuff. You've got your mentorship teacher to fall back on if you fall, which you won't. You'll be fine, I promise. And it's all gonna be okay. Hello, this is Editing Caroline. But I realized that I never filmed an outro. Then again, I never film an outro. So I figured, you know what? Let's just make an outro. I have me and my quesadilla here. But if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. I picked pieces of advice that I didn't find in other videos that I watched about student teaching. I didn't want to pick the same pieces of advice. I didn't want to pick stuff that might already be a little bit obvious. So I tried to pick things that are a little off the radar. If you have any questions about any of those pieces of advice, please ask. I'm not sure if I explained everything super clearly, so. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Comment any other video suggestions you have, any questions you have, any commentary at all. I would love to hear it from you. So, thank you.